Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to be going over favorite influencers' physiques, rating it from like a bodybuilding perspective rather than just like what other people rate physiques at these days. You know, on TikTok you got people, they got their opinions on what they think a good physique is. I'm going to rate it based off of like a bodybuilding perspective and then like a normal perspective as well, kind of like a mainstream look as well. So number one, we got Lexx Little. So Lexx right here, amazing genetics, amazing structure. You really can't argue that, you know, bro doesn't have bodybuilding genetics because he's just a fitness influencer. He doesn't really compete in shows, and knowing them personally, I've watched what he's eaten before and it's not structured at all. I think that if Lexx was to actually like hop on like a strict plan, organize his meals, hit his macros every single day, he would honestly have one of the best bodybuilding physiques out there. Because I've seen like what he eats every day. Like I've visited his place and I've just literally watched what he consumes throughout the day. He eats like 2 to 3 meals, maybe like usually actually only 2 meals, and not enough protein, that's for sure. Not enough like dense carbohydrates. He kind of just picks and chooses whatever he eats, and then he'll wake up the next morning shredded, low body fat, great muscular physique. Doesn't really look flat or anything. Like I swear to God, if there's anybody that can just get away with that shit, it's Lexx. Like he has a great bodybuilding genetics, and if he ever followed anything remotely even serious with like a plan, I think he would take over and just like have an undeniable physique. Basically, he could do bodybuilding and he does have the structure for it. He's got giant legs. Even as he's got older, he's not really small anymore. Like he's a bigger dude too, so his upper body's like his like clavicle bone is like wider, and he's got like a wider back. He's not by any means small anymore. Like when he was younger, I would have said there's no way, there's like no shot, because you know he still kind of looked a little bit small. But now that he's gotten older, he's kind of grown into his body, and you know he might not have like some of the muscle size, but if he ever, like I said, followed the strict plan, tried to do bodybuilding or even hit his macros consistently, I think he would take over and actually do really good in like a competition. But that's like, nonetheless, you'd have to practice like posing. Hold on, I'm fixing the tripod. You can see in this picture right here, he's got a super small waist too, which is going to help him in bodybuilding. Like if you have a small waist in bodybuilding, it's literally God's gift to you. You cannot do bodybuilding with a big waist. The only way you're going to get away with that shit is if you're like Jay Cutler size and like can out muscle everybody, but even then you're going to get... Oh my God, bro. Yeah, back to what I was saying. So like the only way you're gonna get away with a blocky waist in bodybuilding is if, you know, you're like Jay Cutler size and can out muscle everybody, and like then it's not gonna really matter. But most people are not gonna get that big where they can make their waist appear smaller. Next on the list we got Mr. Eubank himself, the king of the fitness industry, as everyone calls him. Bro has a great physique, as you guys can see. Amazing structure, great genetics, great muscle insertion, beautiful looking physique nonetheless. But could he do bodybuilding? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think right now he could, but I think that if he ever went on a serious bulk and like decided to add some tissue to the frame, he would be pretty lethal in bodybuilding. It would just take some years and some time to, you know, perfect that like development in his physique, because he does look amazing and he's got like an amazing, let's say like mainstream type physique where everyone wants to look like him. But when it comes to like a bodybuilding criteria, would he have the powerhouse like mass and size to be able to compete in bodybuilding? And right now I don't think he does. I don't think he has enough size to be able to be competitive in bodybuilding, but I would say that you give him like a few years to develop more. And yeah, because his genetics and his insertions are perfect and, you know, he's got a great structure, I think he would be pretty good at bodybuilding. Yeah, see, you got right here, we got Eubank with the back pose. You can just see like perfect symmetry, flow, small waist, good muscles in there. Definitely like not the biggest guy though, so it's like he would have to do some proper off seasons, and I know that he's one of those guys that eats really well, but he never really commits to like a bulk. So if he ever committed to a bulk and hopped on gear, it would be pretty much game over for him. You know, he would be pretty lethal. All right, next up we got on the list, we got the TrenTwins. TrenTwins, man. So they, about a year ago, I would not say that they were ready for bodybuilding. Like they were very aesthetic, they had great potential, but they were not very big. And now, fast forward a year later, these guys are fucking rhinos, complete mass monsters, and completely filled out their entire frames. They're probably at the tip of the iceberg for their weight cap. I would say that they're very much ready for bodybuilding. I think that what their thing's gonna come down to is their conditioning, just kind of like me, where we're both kind of like at the weight cap, and you know, it's just gonna come down to see how like rainy we can get if we ever were to, you know, hop on stage. So I think that, you know, when the TrenTwins cut down, they got good coaching, they give enough time for themselves to cut. I think that they're gonna be lethal in bodybuilding. They just have a very complete physique. Everything's popping, the fullness in their delts, their arms, their chest, their back, their legs. Everything is completely perfect for what a bodybuilder needs to look like. Their biggest problem, honestly, is just going to come down, can they crack the weight? Because they're such big dudes. And I think they have big joints too. Like I know Chris for sure has like, he's a bigger boned, bigger joint guy. And that's going to hurt him because like he doesn't have like small wrists by any means. Like dude's, he's got like a thick neck. Like if you ever see him in real life, he's got big ass traps, a big neck. His wrists aren't small. Like his bones are very dense. And that's only going to make him heavier. So that means he's going to have to come in even leaner. Now we see here we got Mikey. Mikey alone, he has more of like a bodybuilding physique. So instead of doing classic, I would see Mikey more so in like a bodybuilding class, which would end up putting him in like the, I think light weights or light heavies or something like that. Definitely not lightweights. There's no way. I think he'd be like light heavy. Mikey's gonna be lethal in bodybuilding, and I know for in the future he'll be a champion. Chris, on the other hand, he's got more of a classic type of look. I think that he would have to really like hustle it to get in shape for that. I know that for him to make that cutoff, he's gonna have to murder himself. Let's just say that. Like that dude is gonna have to diet hard. I know these guys are prepared for it. They are just kind of waiting for the right time for them to go on prep and get locked in. But when they do get locked in and they got like a good coach, they got Kyle under the belt, I think that it's gonna be a crazy journey for them. I think that Chris is gonna come in and kill it. He just has to make sure he's got his posing down and, you know, can present the package that he has. All right, next up on professional weak guy. Goes by Chris. So Chris, he's got like he's a power lifter. So he's not even like quote unquote like a bodybuilder, but he does have a great physique for a power lifter. Like if you can see in this picture right here, he has great structure and like good muscle insertion. He's kind of got like that perfect like influencer type look. As a bodybuilder, he's very incomplete because he's not a bodybuilder. He's more of like a power lifter and he's documenting his journey for powerlifting. So I would give him a 10 out of 10 lift as a power lifter. You know, he's not even like, I doubt he even does that much hypertrophy for like, you know, to get bigger muscles, but he does look really good and you can tell that, you know, he cares about his physique and everything. He keeps it up. We got Gabe up on the list. Gabe has like a perfect natural build, just like a pretty look overall. Doesn't really have like much size on the board, but for what he's working with and being natural, that's a very good physique. He's got great insertions, very aesthetic. He's got a really thick back too. Like his back density is pretty thick. He's got a really small waist and you can just tell he's got like a very small bone structure. So I don't know, like he definitely couldn't do a bodybuilding competition, but he's a very good like overall look that if you're trying to get into the gym and you want to look like someone, I feel like he would be a prime example of someone that you would aspire to be like. Next on the list, we got Mr. Anthony Mantello. Now, Anthony, on the other hand, he's more of what I would be trying to go for, like look-wise, because, you know, he's got the size, he's got the shreds, he's got very hard muscle tissue, and he's a very young guy too. So it's kind of crazy to see like just how developed his physique is and how mature it is. And then he's got a very good X frame, as you guys can see right here. He's got giant lats, big pointy delts. His legs are grainy. I think that when it's time for him to do a show, he's gonna really, you know, come in strong this year and take over. Here's like a video from him from his last show. And he's a lot smaller here than he is right now, that's for sure. But he still managed to get like third place. I think he missed his pro card by like a spot. It was kind of a heartbreaker for him, but like nonetheless, he's so young, it doesn't even matter at this point. He's gonna come, it's just his time's gonna come, and when it does, like he'll be a pretty big threat in the IFBB. All right, next on the list, we got Mr. Maxtalor. Now here's someone that I'm like skeptical on whether he's like natural or not because of how good he looks. Like he's so dry and like his muscle looks so like mature and like he's so lean that it's like, how is he not running anything? He looks like he's running hella Winstrol and Masteron right now. And I know like, you know, Max is not really won the cap, so I kind of just like take his word for it and, you know, trust that he is. But like props to Max, man. You can just tell how hard he's died, and to look that good as a natty, it takes a lot, and you know he's doing a very good job with it. So props to Maxtalor for coming in super shredded. As you guys can see, he's got like shredded ass like gills for like abs. You know, he's got his whole entire serratus is outlined, it's carved in. His triceps are dry, his delts are dry right now. He's getting ready for a bodybuilding show. I'm not sure if he's doing like a natural show or like NPC, but I know he's competed in the past before, but he never even looked close to what he looks like right now. This is the best I've ever seen Maxtalor look and the most shredded he's ever been with this much size. So that's why it's hard to believe, like, is Maxtalor really like natty? Who knows? Like, but I mean, you just gotta kind of take his word. He doesn't seem like he's a bullshitter. Like, even when I've known Max since he was like 17 and fat, even back in the day, he kind of just kept it real. He doesn't seem like one of those guys that's like a snake. He doesn't seem like one of those guys that would lie and you know, abuse the power of his influence and tell people that he's natty. So he could definitely be natural. And then last on the list, we got Mr. Sam Sulek. So yeah, Sam, shout out to you, bro. You got a crazy ass build. You're big, you're lean, got a complete package. I think that Sam has like a very good open bodybuilder type look, and in the future he's going to definitely, you know, be a big threat in the bodybuilding realm. Takes his time with his off season, he bulks properly, he's big as shit, so he's definitely going to be a big threat when in the bodybuilding world within the next couple of years. And I like how he does his YouTube too. He's very simple. He kind of just documents his workouts and stuff, and you know, there's not anything spicy to it, but it's very good. He makes good quality content, so props to Sam for that, and I think he's gonna fuck shit up. But yeah, I'm not gonna like go on here and like, I wasn't gonna be like saying anything negative about any of these guys, because every single one of these guys has a great physique, and you know, you really can't say anything negative about these physiques. Like, they're all really good, whether, you know, they're getting ready for competitions or if they're just like lifestyle influencers. All these guys have proven that they have great top-notch physiques, whether, you know, it comes to just being shredded for social media or getting big and bulky for a bodybuilding show. They're all doing a great job. So yeah, that's a little breakdown on your favorite influencers' physiques and my opinion and perspective on all their physiques from like a bodybuilding lifestyle standpoint. That's basically the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this one. Comment below what you guys want to see content-wise for the future, and I'm going to be trying to run up hella YouTube shit. So appreciate all you guys. Make sure you guys drop a comment below, hit that like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.